the people that you take as your friends reveal how much you love yourself and how much you means you come to understand. And so it means that if you understand the whole background when it comes to trauma, people that have certain friendships that are not good or is based off of how much they love themselves, how much of themselves that they understand.
Very good point. And this social media example that you're giving and some of these contents, right? And even sometimes even people's wedding, you see the parents we but trust me, we do that.
Welcome to Let's Get Real. On this show, we have real, unfiltered conversations about mental health, love, relationships, and faith. So, on today's topic, it's a really interesting one, and we are going to dive more into friendship. So, I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves. So, on my left, we have
Paul Egan.
what was Apostle, anointed one, and we have
Justina Dansuetimu, Mrs. Anne.
And Joseph Foki.
Yeah. Thank you guys for, gracing me with your presence, for accepting my invitation. My apostle. Yeah, I feel it too. I'm shy of you. I can't even. Yeah. Okay. Move forward. So, you're a friend, right? You're friend with someone.
Yeah.
How would you describe yourself as a friend? Yeah, what you? Well,
How will I describe myself as a friend? Well, I think that it also depends on the level of friendship. I don't think all friendships are the same. I don't think all friendships are the same. Depending on the context of it, really good bit. But underneath it, what's underlying all the friendships is love.
Well,
Yeah. It's
so would you say you're a lovable person, a loving person?
I,
Or
I,
your
choose,
friend?
I choose to believe so.
Choose to. Yeah, I want you
I
know.
choose to believe so. Yeah, I choose to
Okay.
believe so.
All right. Thank you, Apostle. Mrs. Intim, what kind of friend are you? I'd say I'm a very empathetic friend. I feel for people. If I realize that someone is going through something, there's a lot of compassion I have. I put myself in the person's shoes, like how's the person feeling, and I do my best to just be there for the best years out there. I'm empathetic.
I can testify. I'm here friend too. It's not lying.
Wow.
She said,
Um, Two words, committed and considerate. I am someone that believes that loyalty is a very important thing when it comes to friendships. And despite the signs that there would be arguments and situations that might come in the friendships, but it is important to understand this. Commitment is above even the little fights that you may have, and consideration and understanding that they're all human beings. We make mistakes. Okay.
so you are saying you're a constituent friend.
Yeah.
Mm, okay. We are afraid gay.
Love it, freak.
Yes.
Amata. Forward.
We are friends.
Later. Yeah. Okay. We move on. Yeah, what you know?
No problem.
Okay, we will. So we always hear that, you know, adulting is hard, adulthood friendship is also, it's sort of difficult to make friends your adulthood. How true is it? Is it true? Do you believe in that statement? It's hard making friends when you grow up. I think maybe I'll say a yes and a no. I would say it's necessarily difficult making friends because here the case where we have networking. You can go to a function, walk up to someone, introduce yourself, tell the person what you do. Gradually, that could lead into a friendship. It could move from acquaintance, it could move from whatever it is into friendship. But in adulthood, I would say it's sometimes difficult when it comes to maintaining the friendship. There are certain friends that, we don't have to talk every day, but the day we actually talk, we just pick things up from wherever it was. But there are some too, there's this wide oh hi, how are you, I'm just checking up on you, and then it just dies down, right? Because there are so many things going on in adulthood. People are working, people are taking care of children, people are doing this and all that. So trying to juggle, it becomes difficult sometimes to remember that, oh, I have somebody, I just need to take my phone and text this person or call this person. Yeah. So it takes intentionality, but sometimes it's just difficult maintaining the friendships that started.
I really need to agree with what she says. That's I think that most of the time the friendship thingy, the transition from school, from university to NSA that actually starts working, that transition is what actually shape your whole understanding of friendship and how you'll be able to maintain them. Because most of the time when we transition and then we experience the whole burden of responsibility, all of a sudden these circumstances prevent us from making sure that we'll make time for the people that we want to make time for, which is not necessarily our fault, but because we are still learning how to balance everything that comes at us. But I think that we should still do our best regardless to make the necessary time. It doesn't have to be long. It can be, as you said, a phone call to be able to check up on people.
I think that I mean, that in itself, that space of adulthood in itself, I mean, there's a benefit to it in that it has now put you in a position where now you have to choose because you don't even have the time to just go with anyone. And that is a good space in there because then now you start to prioritize. But even with the people that are prioritize, just picking up from what both of you said, yes, there has to be that intentionality. And that's where the consideration also comes in. Because I think that one of the things that we sometimes overlook is expectations in all sorts of relationships. So even with friendships, right? You should know that there are some unsaid expectations, and that's what may cause issues with friends that you never text you a minute. But there's that sort of, I mean, unspoken expectations, and those things will have to be managed. I mean, through conversations and stuff like that. But the love and the selflessness, the consideration that you did mention, this is where it plays a role. Oh, my friend is married. She has a kid, or he has a kid. He's working 2 jobs. Like, just even thinking outside of you just should, I mean, put you in that position where you can not hold any grudge or whatever it is because, hey, you know what, this friendship is, I mean, adulthood and you're always complaining about adulthood or stuff like that. But I think that space gives us the benefit of being intentional, choosing our friend to prioritize with our goals. Unfortunately, not everybody can continue with us going like that's the genuine plan. Like that cool. It's very true. It is in season. Some people are with us for seasons. Some people are with us for a very long time, for lifetime. And just that, I mean, that's just how it is.
How do you choose your friends? Especially for someone who is let's say an introvert, right? Very shy, closed in. They don't know how to approach people, very timid. So how does that individual choose this for a friend?
Well, there are a lot of factors when it comes to choosing friends.
So let's say as a Christian,
Yeah.
let's say Christian, how do you make
So
sure
that was
it's right
the first thing I was going to say. Your Christian values, right? Your values, they align with your values. And you can also pick friends based on where you are headed, your goals, your purpose. Oh, I can learn from this person, right? Or even the heart of someone, right? Because not everyone is going to be a great friend towards you. The fact that you are a great friend doesn't mean that this person is going to be a great friend towards you. And then sometimes we have that mistake. If I'm great or if I give good, I mean, I'm going to get bypassing kind of thing. So you have to look at the heart of the person, the mind of the person. Is this a person a good person? Okay, does this person align with my values, my Christian values? I can also pick based on the, you said, the purpose and where I'm headed to. So I think that these are some of the factors. I don't really, my friends here add more to it. But
Yeah. So adding on to that, I would say knowing who you are. When you know the person, I mean, you spend time with yourself, you know that, oh, this is the kind of person I am. That is when you'll be able to know who can work with you. You know who can run whatever race it is that you are running. Because if, let's say, you are someone who makes jokes, right? You just make casual jokes and you see that, oh, this particular person takes everything seriously in life. I know that I just joke with certain things, but if I decide to choose this person as a very tight buddy, I would end up putting myself in the shell a bit. I mean, we can work together, we can do things together, but we don't necessarily have to be in sync like that for everything. Where, oh, I just call you, I'm sharing everything with you, and yeah. So you just measure that based on who you are. And then I also say discernment, right? The help of the Holy Spirit helping us to discern who, to pick as friends, because the Bible tells us that there are wolves who will come in sheep clothing. You don't know, someone will just show you that, oh, like, yeah, I have these values, I have that. But the Holy Spirit shows the intent of the heart of the person to you. And then you can see that, okay, even if you are faking whatever, like, I can see right through you. And so, okay, discernment is here. Okay, okay.
Uh, well, two things: boundaries and then understanding who you are. As you mentioned, there's something that I have come to understand about relationships and friendships. The people that you pick as your friends reveal how much you love yourself and how much of yourself you come to understand. And so it means that if you understand the whole background when it comes to trauma, people that have certain inventions that are not going no more is based off of how much they love themselves, how much of themselves that they understand. And I think that is very, very important. Why healing, we need to heal as human beings. Moving on from that, as a priest cleric, we realize that a lot of people do not involve the Lord in their choosing or in their choice when it comes to friendship, because a lot of people think that it's all about vibes and it's all about proximity. But the fact that we see each other at work every day doesn't mean that we have to be friends. Can be acquaintances. And a lot of people need to learn how to draw the line between being an acquaintance and being a friend. And that's where boundaries can be, because sometimes I think this is especially for people who are soundbite people, people who are extremely open people. They find it difficult to be able to draw that line because they vibe with everybody, they make everybody laugh, tell jokes and everything. And so they don't know where and how to draw that line between we being friends and we being just acquaintances. And I think discernment is one of the best ways that you will be able to do that.
I really like what you said there concerning the whole healing, because that is so important. It cuts across all relationships. It is very, very key. Even sometimes, it's a per example, people pleasing or you just realize like sometimes you can clearly see that this is just people pleasing. You want your friends to accept you because you've not even had an understanding of the love of God for yourself, and for you to even know very well that you're accepted, you are loved. And so you're picking based on that. And sometimes the way that they treat you is still in the, that is very key. And the whole concept about even choosing friends is very important, since the Bible really it tells us that bad company equals good more internet. Most of the time we think that, oh, I can just be friends with you and I'm cool, and you know, or we are rather going to influence them on the sort of all of these things. But it's very interesting that like light and darkness cannot. They cannot. It's impossible. And most of the time, we'll always think that the right one is supposed to influence the wrong one, but it's not always the case. It's- As a matter of fact, it's hardly the case without the help of the Holy Spirit, especially. But it's what, but it's hardly the case, right? And I think that we need to consider
Might be even influence negative without you being realized. Play.
because the change happens without you seeing it. It starts little by little. Then you start following them, you start doing the same thing. So you even realize that the more time you spend in someone, you begin to talk like the person, begin to use the person's jargons and stuff like that, right? So by the time you realize, you are just like them, and you didn't know how that happened.
So you spoke on boundary and acquaintance, right? How do you identify your acquaintance? Is it always a bad thing to, kind of segregate people? This person is, one of my best of friends. This person will be in a category of acquaintance. How do you even draw that boundary?
I'm glad you asked me that question, but I do that a lot.
Okay.
And for my friends.
They are watching. Not very low.
I really do that a lot. Like I tell my friend that today we are friends. Like write it down. Like today.
Wow.
Yeah, I do that. I do that. I do that. And the moment we move a step higher in our relationship, I'll tell you that okay, we have moved. So I'm very deliberate about my trust, especially because I'm someone who disciples people at the Sharia. And sometimes when as a shepherd, you have to familiarize yourself with your disciples, and they think that because we are always together all the time, and so they can. Then you have to tell them that you are a disciple. You are not my friend. Like know your place, know where the line. Yeah, exactly. Because that's why I say that a lot of people think that proximity equals friendship. It is not the case, right? You will need to make the choice, and it goes back to what I said about loving yourself and understanding yourself. He made a certain example concerning people who struggle with validation. Yeah. And these people are people who struggle with choosing friends. They always want to be chosen.
Yeah.
Because they feel like if if they choose, no one will accept them. So they need to be chosen to feel like
Yeah,
okay.
part of sound. Yeah, I got some there.
Exactly. But if you are moving with someone for a while and you understand that, okay, they have the same values, we are working together, and then according to a certain purpose, you can tell the person that I want us to be friends. Like, seriously, I want us to be friends. And that is something that I do a lot. I tell the certain that, okay, today we are friends.
Today we are friends.
Today
we are I thought today we are friends.
You are friends. You are friends. Today, because it's a mistake that I had. There was a time when I was in GHN, and there was this lady that we used to talk a lot, anything, and then she used to say, "Oh, my best friend," and I was like, I'm someone that is very easygoing. So at that time, I'm like, sure, like it's not deep because I'm someone that just vibes with everybody until I came to learn. And it really costed me a lot because there were expectations asking like that you and I wasn't giving those expectations. And I read that no, I should have stuck something because in the university we had a lot of issues because she was expecting a lot of things that I wasn't giving to her because it's in my heart or in my head. We are not like that. You understand? Because there are certain things that we cannot correlate with or the values. We don't share certain values. And you might be a Christian, but there are some people that don't share the necessary values that they ought to share. And I think that it is something that we must take note of, especially as Christians. So their discernment, it's very, very important to draw the line. As soon as you begin to relate with someone very often, you will need to ask the Lord, okay, is this boy or does this girl be moving around a lot too? Are we becoming friends or it should just be acquaintances? And for me, it's something that I do. And I see certain things when I make that prayer. Within the week, I see certain things about the person or certain flaws or certain situations come up and then the person would react in a certain manner. And then for some reason, I begin to take note of those things and then I would then approach the person that would be moving. Are we friends now or what are we?
What are we?
Yeah. It is to ask that person. And you ask them what are we? We have pencils in your hand and a plate. You need to ask that person that what are we? Don't just move with the vibes. If not, you start having expectation. And then that's how people start getting hurt and begin to have hidden resentment concerning another person. So begin to look at the flow, begin to look at certain character traits that the individual might have, and also where you are going. I think this, especially the where you are going, so that you understand that some people are based on seasons. A lot of people find this hard, but it's the truth. You would work with certain people for a certain season, and it's okay. You don't need it doesn't need to end on a bad note, or it doesn't mean that the person is not a good person. But see, for this season, it was necessary that this person worked with you, and after that, we will promise each other we'll vibe, but will not be as tight as before. That is fine.
And normally you realize that it dies off by itself.
You don't have to. Yes. And yeah, the thing just slowly. This one, when you realize that you have moved on to a new season, so paying attention to um the individual's characters, the values, speaking to the Lord about the people that you relate with. Be easygoing, but have boundaries yourself as an individual to be able to let even the other people know that okay, this and this you cannot do this. A lot of people look at boundaries like barriers, like hey, don't. Because what is that issue boundary?
Every new year, I'll cut you off.
Because I don't know, so it's very interesting. Just I think a lot of people are mistaking boundaries or for walls. However, even some people claim to put in boundaries. Sometimes I look at them like, this is really a wall. That's not a boundary. Like if completely, and before I even speak more on the boundaries aspect, just speaking of, what you what you said on the whole expectations, as you say, right? And I just want to share an example. So there was a time where I had a disagreement with a friend, a big friend, and
Bestie.
no. And then I spoke on, I think throughout the disagreement, I did mention that I thought we really had a great friendship. And she was like, no, it was not a great friendship. And honestly, I was shocked. Because I looked at
One-sided friendship.
I looked at I looked at the situation. I looked at the details of and certain key moments started mess up. And I'm like, that's not something I'll do with someone who I don't and think is a great friend. Or that's not something that you even do with someone if you don't think the person is a great friend. Right. But I just had to, I said that, okay, so that's cool. And then it did hit me again that truly, most of the time, we will all like pick, or have some sort of expectation. We cannot communicate every single expectation. We're gonna have that. She later apologized, all right, but it was something that still stuck.
You brought in something.
No turning back.
Boundaries aspect, right? Maybe someone is even here listening is like, you know what, they may feel lonely or I don't have friends and stuff like that, but you don't have to cross boundaries. You don't have to abandon yourself to find
Just to
friends.
fit in.
The Lord has your flock. Like you are part of a flock. You just need to find your flock. But trust me, you have your people. You have your community. And it's okay if you're not part of a certain community that you may want to be a part of or a friendship group, but yours is there. And if you allow the Lord to be with you, He will. We spoke about discernment and everything. He will. Because He'll never ever leave you on this alone. Not at all. You have your flock.
And speaking to what you just shared, this was my personal experience, right? Where initially I had a lot of friends. Like I was a people's person. I had a whole lot of friends, and I wondered how I was even able to keep up with each and every one. Say one, but going on in life, let me say when I got serious with God, right? Yes, I realized that where God was taking me to and the people around me, right? Like there was no correlation. So as you said, seasons. Some people are just there for seasons, right? And I had to lose all these people. You mentioned that sometimes their friendship would just end without you even having to do anything. That was exactly what happened. And I got to the point in my life where I was like, God, you've taken all these people away from me. I don't have friends. What do you want me to do? I don't have friends. And with the whole discernment part and you talking about, you have a flock, I realized God bringing people my way. he was just selecting people. This person will come and then we connect, we move, we connect, we move. And I would say I had, or I have as many friends as I had back then, but I'll say that I have more instrumental friends now as to where I am going to, instead of, oh, we are dead friends, we are all friends, we are all Friday, we are all, let's go here, let's go here, let's do that. But yes, these people are still together, these people are still friends, but I'm out of that and I see why, I see, where God is taking me to it. Yeah. So the boundaries and we having flawed, because there are people too feel like if I, yes, we are in a Christian setting, so let me just say that. You have no who feel like if I become serious with God, He's going to sweep some people away from me. There's a book by Doug Mills, losing, I've forgotten the title, but he spoke about losing friends. That was something that opened me up to the fact that, oh, if I become serious with God, He's definitely going to prune my life. He's going to pick certain things, certain people. And so when you become serious with God, just know that indeed He's going to do that, but He's not going to leave you lonely. He didn't make Adam to just be alone in the garden. He himself, Adam didn't go to God and went and say that, Charlie, bro, guy, I'm tired, I'm alone here. But God Himself looked at Adam and said, it's not good for man to be alone. So I will make a helper suitable for him. It's not just married. I'll say it's just for married, but even with friendships, with everything. Yes.
I like what you said. Because you see, if there's anything that you will be cut off or you use when you get serious record, shouldn't be there in the first place. And a lot of times people know. They know the things that are going to be stripped.
Right.
But they do not want to. But once it is something that needs to go, shouldn't be there in the first. That consciousness.
You think social media has played a role in this unrealistic expectations when it comes to friendship? I mean, you can be scrolling and you see, you're like, me and my friends that go and share. Both of them are, all of them are, however number of they are holding out their ATM cards. Oh, let's go here, let's do that. And then you hear, you are in your room thinking, hey, my friends, have those
What kind of friends I'm like, well, what am I going to find you celebrate? Am I a story?
They are always trying to fit you to certain cliques that you are not supposed to be in. And you find yourself wondering, so you think social media
Yes,
is it
I do. And I think that for some of them, I will not say all of them, for some of them, it's not real friendship.
The step.
Like I said, like this, when you ask me about the kind of friend, I said, like, right, that's with God. And this social media example that you're giving and some of these contents, right? And even sometimes even people's weddings, you see the bride with, but trust me, we're doing that. Look, so sometimes we can be envious of something that we don't even know the full picture of. Right? We just see the outside and we think that the grass is greener. I was praying that.
Yeah. Special shout out to my pastor, Reverend Harry Alite, who always say, who always says that people post their best online. When my friends and I and my husband went to Mountain Afajatu, we got to the top. I mean, we took pictures. I posted this on my Instagram. But the journey to the top was crazy. At a point, one of our friends threw up, there was a lot going on. But when we got there, nobody will know that these are the challenges we actually faced while climbing the mountain. Right. And so people will definitely show you what they want you to see. People will select and just post this particular thing on social media, and then you just get up and judge and think that, oh, this is all that there is about this friendship. You don't know what is going on. Maybe they even thought maybe there's someone who has something in their heart and is sitting there, but just, oh, everyone should smile and then we are taking this picture, we're taking this video. You just don't know. So whatever you see on social media should it define how you see reality. Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
I think that social media has become one of the tools for identity crisis. As she mentioned, people post their best online.
PH doesn't matter.
Apostle.
And we we tend to accept things off of face value. And it's very important to make sure that you have upper understand before you just watch anything. And need that you have to be mindful about the things that you consume online. And these things unconsciously rewire your mind as you watch them repeated. And so someone is see that people or any people that will be did that uh, men are some way, women are some way, not the simple. It is because they kept, it's not like they've had any experience, but they have kept watching that thing. And it applies in friendships as well. You see these things, and all of a sudden you begin to judge your friends that have been there with you through thick and thin, because they have not entered a certain state of their becoming, because they are genuine, obviously. And there's a point where they would often also gets to that piece where they are able to do certain things, and so you begin to look at them and say that they are not serious, or they are not, you yourself, are you serious? Ask yourself that question. Are you serious?
It's funny how you brought that. Sometimes, right, meet some certain ministers, or should I say men of God, right? They'll be preaching. Check your circle of friends. If you don't have someone who is sending you 10,000 Ghana city or 100,000,
Also, miss.
I had one. I actually have one friend who can send me 10K. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm glad we're friends.
the friend that she have doesn't mean it's me. I'm not her only friend. But I rejoin them. Yeah.
But I'm not into, it's true. It's true that these things really affect, because we are all genuine, all right? And you shouldn't just downplay a little bit was genuine because of that. So you should be mindful about the things that you consume concerning and friendships, that you do not look at these things and then begin to judge your friends on how they behave or whatever the case may be. So yeah.
I mean, if you even are thinking about what I can get, that mindset alone is like,
Yeah.
true. No,
Transactional
even
friendship.
it's look at that. That again, and look at the foundation, love, selfless. Like, 'cause- and then some people might not be able to give you anything because of what they carry, what they bring to your life, the wisdom that they have, the ability to stand with you even in prayer. Look, I made a friend that I always stand out for them. Like, unknowingly to me, I was going through a phase, and this guy was praying for me without me, This is not somebody that can. Maybe he can, but he hasn't blessed me with the 10,000. But I mean, I look beyond that, because what if something happens and then the person uses
Whatever it is that you're expecting from them. It's the money, is the car, is it like what parties, all of these things. Forget about the value that the person brings into your life. The intrinsic ones that are not, tangible.
right? And that to me is what our focus should be. More like, can
So it's more of what you can give than what you
add to someone's life? Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's talk about accountability first. Yeah. Be accountable.
Yes, I am. And I think that it is very helpful with the same person that I spoke about. Yes, I am. And because you see, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
We keep each other going. We can open up, talk about whatever it is. And I know that this person will not allow me to even fall. And I will not allow it to even fall as well, right? But we have friends, and then we used to do that back when we were off the world. Where perhaps we are even in school, and then a lady comes, and then we all lead the way. We are enabling. We are enabling is But here's the case where a friend is there, and I'm like, no, I can call you and tell you that, hey, please be careful. the way I walk in, the way of this person can also call me, tell me, and the same thing. It keeps you safe, and I think it's very necessary.
Anything to add?
I think that a lot of people are afraid of accountability because of judgment.
Who's
So,
reflecting?
yes, exactly. So, because they fear judgment, they want to avoid accountability. And there's nothing wrong with judgments. You must be able to avail yourself for pruning to occur, and it's painful sometimes. We do not like when we are attacked or addressed on certain things. And I think most of the time it's because of the way the individual does it. But at the same time, too, in as much as that is well, we must be willing to accept and make sure that we are accountable even in our friendships. And I think that for me, I can call out my friend that I have you have the responsibility of being accountable to me concerning the things that you are doing. And so I think that true accountability can come from intentionality. The way you are intentional about the individual. So you can tell them that this is what you're supposed to do. What has happened? Why isn't this the case? Not in a way that where you are condemning the person, but you are making sure that the person is maintaining the ground that the person is supposed to make, the values that you're supposed to remain inside, and not just saying that okay, because they are my friend, I don't want to hurt them. And so I'm saying something, but I'll just go around the matter. I will not attack it because if anything, the person knows better. And I don't want to create issues in the friendship, and so I will not say anything or do anything in particular. But I think that being accountable is very, very important.
Yeah, okay. And just to add to what both of you have said, we need to be intentional about who we are choosing to be our accountability partners. Because you wouldn't want to be so vulnerable to somebody today and then tomorrow you hear your matter outside. Because that's also a thing that's, that's there. And so be intentional. That's where the Holy Spirit comes in again. Who should I go to? Who should I talk to whenever something like this is happening? If I'm in the room with a guy, who can I call or who can call me? Right? Just someone you can trust, someone the Holy Spirit have given you a green light to be vulnerable with, because there are certain people who, you do something to them today, all that vulnerability will be gone. Tomorrow they can't open up to any other person who may be trustworthy. And so slowly they'll end up dying within, and they just can't open up because someone has scarred them. And so we need to be particular, we need to be intentional about who we open up to.
Yeah. And that's so important because accountability is not just it's not just it is for the fact that okay, this person can help me.
Yeah.
That's why we remain accountable. This person can aid me in a certain area that I've decided to be accountable to this person with. And coming from the place of what you said about the person who okay, someone is accountable to, right? It has to be on the basis of love. Because honestly, you don't control their lives. They have their choices. You can't go in as an authoritative voice like, hey, do this. No, it is not coming from a place of I care for you. And I don't think that this is something you should get. Another friend of mine, lady friend, Senti, she told me, we talk, we open out, we help each other, accountability, all of that, like peer friendship. And then there was an incident, where something unfortunate happened with her. And then when she told me, I was genuinely sad. And I told her, you should have told me this. I could have helped in this situation, and you probably would have. And that's the foundation of the whole point. It has to be all.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyways, so we are wrapping up soon. And my last question, let's talk about comparison and envy in friendship that people, or should I say even close friends, tend to deny. That because let's be real, sometimes you tend to feel a little bit envious of your friend when they attain, a certain achievement that you also want to, get the attain, right?
So how do you deal with that when a person feels those kind of negative emotions? How does one deal with that?
That's the good God.
Hmm.
That's so good. I said that, okay, so you know what, I'm feeling like this. I'm jealous of this person because of this, that won't help me. Then also begin to see things different. Because if this person has something, maybe even a trait. If this person, is very outspoken, is a star of the group, or she's a star of the group, and you feel in a certain kind of way. That person has something that you don't have. You also have something that the person has.
Well, you mean
So both of you coming together, you can gain off each other. So that shapes. I mean, reshapes the way you see things.
Deeper. Yeah. And I would say that intentionally celebrates the person. If the person has something that you belonging for and all that, intentionally celebrates the person. Be grateful to God for bringing this person this far. Be grateful for giving the person this thing, because you don't know the story behind whatever it is. You don't know how many nights the person, for example, has had to cry. You don't even know what is ahead of the person. So if you just sit down and I'm envious of this person, yeah, these feelings come here and there, right? But you need to be intentional about shutting it, because it's not of God. Envy, jealousy, these are things that are not of God. They are not part of the breach of the spirit. Yeah, and so take it to God and then be intentional about celebrating. Okay, so to end the session,
To end, I will say that scripture says that those who compare themselves to others are fools. And it's a very hard one to swallow. And so this is because we are all unique in the because and he mentioned something that if you see someone walking in a certain trace which you wish you had, you learn, you ask questions. You don't just envy and then try to sabotage the person because you do not have that. And so be willing to learn. I think that's one of the major things about us having friends. You learn. There are so many things that you pick up from each other. And so be open to learn, be open to ask questions. Asking something concerning what the friend has does not make you someone who is small minded because you cannot give so and so. You should ask question and choose to learn.
okay. Wow, I learned a lot. Apostle, loud foundation is hated. You had commitment, you had consideration, you had. So, in as much as we always want to find ourselves in good company, to be amongst friends, good friends, you should also realize that you should also strive to also be a good friend to someone as well. Identify yourself in Christ, know yourself well so that you don't compromise your values as well. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I will see you next time. Bye.